Okay, just wanted to give everybody a little update on some of the tropicals in the garden here. Okay, Cupuasu, the Aroma grandiform leafing out. And then over here, I've got Malaysian ginseng, Tongkata leaf, Monthong durian seedling, other various seedlings, Astrocarium tucamaca, or Astrocarium paramaca, excuse me. It's a palm with an edible nut. And abu seedling, special variety called Dekaksu. A dwarf jaboticaba. This is Mircieria tenel. Has a little red fruit. It's like a little jaboticaba with a tiny little red berry. Supposed to be nice tasting. Not much on it, but probably makes a ton of berries. Snakewood, Brosmum guianense. This is one of the most expensive hardwoods in the world, and it makes an edible fruit. Medicinal uses from the resin, the sap, and these are all under the canopy of this large Garcinia acuminata, or the cherry trella, or the bumpy lemon. This is a mangosteen, relative from South America, that makes a bumpy yellow rind. And as with many of these different Garcinias, the rind and many other parts of the plants are highly medicinal, specifically for cancer benefit. So that's very exciting. There is a medicinal sap that's collected from that. We've got some Mircieria strigipes, or the beach cambuca. This is a semi-dwarf, quasi-dwarf jaboticaba relative. It's a lot like the yellow jaboticaba, so the taste may be a little better. Very pretty. I've got a couple grafts here, just kind of jumbled in. Cactus grafts. This is Rollinia. I've got some white flies. I'm going to spray some organic pyrethrin derived from chrysanthemum on them tonight. That's a good knockdown spray, because when you have so many plants so close together, neem soap doesn't cut it unless you're really diligent. I have been slipping lately, so sometimes you need to resort to the pyrethrin. This is a Astrophytum myriostigma cactus graft onto a large, I call this a tower graft. It's about 3.5, 4 feet tall. Well, that one's about 3.5 feet tall, and then this one here is a graft of Mammillaria hernandezii. And this one has been growing very quickly. I'm waiting for it to explode with flowers. I'm not sure why it's all barked over like this, but it's healthy. Sometimes grafts do weird things. It'll probably have another big growth flush when I spoil it again. They've just been in these same pots. This is Rollinia, one of John Painter origin. Beautiful red on the leaves there. We've got the Puteria viridis, the green sapote. And this is a true sapote from the Puteria genus, the Sapotaceae family. Sapote is a catch-all term and can refer to many different plants from many different genuses. But this is Puteria viridis, very similar to Puteria sapota, the mamey. This one is supposedly a little more cold hardy. This is a graft in a 25-gallon pot, as you can see, is flowering. It's had several rounds of this beautiful little bloom right there. And they have a nice scent in mass. They would really have a really nice scent, similar to mamey. There's a nice other flower going on there, yeah. They have some flowers real down low. This fruit's like a mamey sapote, for those of you familiar with that, but it is thinner skin and red flesh, and some say a superior taste. It's flowering way down low there, even by the graft union, just a little bit down there. You can see it. There's the graft union. And the dog's going off. This is an amazingly rare sapote, also, called Puteria ambulanifolia. Got another one here. And actually, I believe this is the other ambulanifolia. And then this is a Puteria called Puteria piauí, named after the area in Brazil where it was sourced. This makes a fruit that looks like a black olive, looks like a thin skin, very creamy pulp. Very excited about that. It's a dwarf too. Very exciting. And this one is supposed to taste like a cross between abiu and star apple, with a very floral taste and just like a grainy, sugary apple kind of like texture. Really excited about Puteria ambolanifolia. Get some more Puteria viridis flowers there. The other nice thing about Puteria viridis is that it's cold hardy, more than even Mamé. Very well guarded back down here. We've got a special fruit from Brazil. This is called, don't mind my squirrel cage here, they will dig things up and chomp on them. This is moriri. Moriri from the family Melastomataceae. Not very commonly found, if at all, in North America, members of this family, but it's very prevalent in South America. Melastomataceae. And this is of the moriri genus. Moriri guianensis. This is an orange fruit. These seeds were from French Guiana. It's taken since I planted them about exactly a year ago to get to this size, so very slow, very slow. It's supposed to be a dwarf plant though, with a lot of ornamental value, stunning flowers, and nice, bright, shiny orange fruits that some say taste really good, some say they're a little bit bland, but I'm interested in the medicinal properties nonetheless. Here's another moriri species hiding back here. Kind of a little dense to try to show you, and we're losing light here. Here I've got my largest abiu, and this is in a 25 gal. See if I can zoom out a little bit. Try to show you the scope of the tree. Here it is next to the Puteria viridis. Yeah, it's about 6 feet tall, from maybe 5.5, 6 feet tall from the soil line. May try to fruit next year. This is abiu, Puteria kaimito. We'll have to see how it does in the cold this year, but it's looking large and established now. If we don't go below 40 too much, I think it'll be all right. A little leaf burn, but they flower and fruit at a pretty young age. That's Puteria kaimito, abiu. Tastes just like French vanilla or caramel flan. Really nice. Various Anona grafts and Anona species down here. We've got a purple-fleshed Ilama, the rare Anona parviflora. Here's one of the rarest of all, is the Dugetia phaeoclados, the Bolivian cherry sugar apple, a dwarf fruit in the Anona family that is very rare and coveted and quite stunning looking. Has a creamy, sweet-tasting pulp. Yep, so that's very excited about that. This is a dream Anona, or dream Atamoya, some would say, but dream Anona graft. It is reason I say that is that it's actually purported by certain people to be a variety of cherimoya that fruits in Florida. But either way, dream Anona is very exciting. Sprouts of Anona paludosa. These are about a year old, looking very good. Fuzzy leaves. Paludosa looks like a yellow little Rillenia. This is a dwarf Anona. I'm really excited about these dwarf Anonas that will fruit at about 20 inches tall. I actually have the very close relative of this one over here. Here's my African ground sop, Anona stenophylla, doing well. Got another smaller one over across the way. Anona rugulosa, cold hardy custard apple. This one's supposed to taste like a pineapple custard apple and handle the upper 20s. So that's very exciting and practical. Down here are the dwarf Anonas. These are about fruiting size. We're very excited about these. Anona sericea. You can see it looks similar to the paludosa I showed you earlier. These were sold to me as paludosa by the originator of these seeds, and they ended up being, he went back and revised his decision and called these Anona sericea instead after they'd been sold. He's a very competent botanist, and these sort of things all happen, you know, but yeah, very similar, very closely related, very taxonomically close in the genus, and also referred to by the same indigenous name as Anona paludosa. They call this dwarf Cassim or Cassim. So this one being a different species with a yellow skin and white pulp, they call it the same exact name as this one with a green skin and greenish white pulp. And this one's supposed to be very good and tastes very good. These are about 2 years old now. You can see there's a whole grove of them. I think I might have 8 And then the other thing that's interesting is these seeds are small, about the size of a flax seed, but wider, thicker I should say. And some of them laid in the soil for over a year before they germinated, and so there are other small ones coming up underneath. If I can find one. This one actually is a separate seedling entirely. That one came up an extra year after this one did, so the seeds will sit for a year. But yeah, very, very excited about these. Are about flowering size. I just need to probably upgrade them to the next size pot, and then they'll pop off and do their thing. But to bring these dwarf Anonas to the market is very exciting for us. And Anona sericea, yep. And here we have our santal that's in the ground. This is Sandoricum jape, or Santal sandoricum, it's sometimes called. And it's in the mahogany family. And it's from the Philippines and Southeast Asia. They also call it yellow mangosteen. It's not a true mangosteen, it's in the mahogany family along with langsat. And it's very exciting fruit, a lot of medicinal properties, very beautiful foliage, very tough, can handle frost. And then here we come over to some butterfly pea flowers are going on. Double blossom butterfly pea. We make tea and tinctures out of that all the time, and various confections. It's a nice one. You want to grow the double blossom because you get more flower for your work. Here I've managed to train this South African jasmine, Jasminum tortuosum, up the fence, and it's doing pretty well. A lot more buds coming. Jasminum tortuosum smells like a strong plumeria. I think it smells maybe superior to plumeria, but just the fact that it's jasmine that smells like a plumeria is awesome to me. And most jasmines are edible and can be used for tea, and I believe this species is safe as well. We have many jasmines we're growing and we will be using for tea. And other flavor infusions, jasmine ice cream is amazing. Yeah, so this is Jasminum tortuosum. You can see I've weaved it haphazardly through this, but it's going to poke out. We're going to weave it through that beam some more all the way to that corner. And we're back here. It's a little crazy back here right now. I just retrained my Lisa Atamoya all the way back up, pushed it up with these stakes. We had taken the original stakes out for the hurricane. And yeah, it's all flipped up like that, but I've done this before. It will right itself in just about a week. Maybe a few leaves will get a little leaf burn for the underside, getting the sun. I wanted to show you guys, obviously don't have time to show you the whole garden, but showing you some of the highlights right now. The Luke's mangosteen and the Plenia giant red crystal, Plenia phitrantha giant red crystal. Phitrantha is a species, some argue maybe even a species complex or a variety with many different hybrids. Also, there's debate that it could be a hybrid of Plenia aureana with various other species, but there's many varieties of this type of jaboticaba. This is a type of jaboticaba. There's Plenia and there's Miracearia, and this one is Plenia. Typically characterized by larger leaves than Miracearia is, usually with smaller leaves. But the Luke's, I love the color scheme of these two right now with the new growth. The Luke's has this stunning, I have two varieties that have different colors of leaf flush. This one is one of my hot pink, like lipstick hot pink fuchsia. You can see actually a worm ate through the top stem and I trimmed it. Can't really focus right now, we're losing light. Right there, and this giant ball of yellow waxy resin formed. And it actually threw this tip out here on the right before this one on the left, which is more recent, but this is the one that leafed out first, so who knows what. But yeah, I was worried because I've heard that sometimes I've heard that grafts made from the vertical stems always grow vertical, but if you graft from the side stem, it's always going to grow sideways. So Garcinia is a very alien for some of their behaviors and looks. I can show you this This one I got already at a large size, paid a lot for it. But Luke's Garcinia is a mangosteen species, relative, from Mexico, and it has tons of anti-cancer properties. I just love the gigantic leaves that it makes. These ones are even small for the plant, but that's a little more like it there. And the new leaves are this stunning red. And here's, sometimes they sync up when they leaf out, and you can see this one is really, this one is a little younger than that one. But yeah, I love these. So amazing. Let's see if I can show you like how red they are. Oops. Yeah. It's very, very showy. This is maybe my favorite new foliage of anything that I grow. It's stunning. And I'll show you the other varieties. Also leafing out currently. They're not quite as striking, but this is a beautiful Garcinia brasiliensis, about fruiting size. I got this from Flying Fox Fruits, Adam Shafran, over in Sanford, Florida. I got this in 2020. And yeah, it's doing big. I got it as a seedling. It's doing well, I mean, and it is big. But yes, I got it as a seedling. This is about fruiting size, on the cusp. We've got Barringtonia edulis, cut nut. This will flower probably in this 15-gallon pot and hopefully fruit. It has a nice stalk of nuts that are edible. And here we've entered the little lemon drop mangosteen patch. Lemon drop mangosteen is from Central America, and you can see it's kind of a shorter tree. And it makes these little, this one's leafing out right there. This is my biggest. It's about 4.5, 5 feet tall. Another lemon drop here. Some nice new growth there, just turning green from being red. When it first comes out, it's this deep crimson red. It's getting kind of dark right now. I don't know if you can see that, but it's a deep crimson red. There's still some red on that stem there. And then here as well. Another lemon drop. These will probably fruit in these pots pretty soon. Thermotococcus danielii. This is a really lovely miracle berry-like fruit. Makes sour taste sweet, things like that. Also, you can wrap up the leaves around food and cook it, and it infuses the flavor. There's an African dish called moi moi, which is used with this leaf. And you can see it has this interesting, it's in the turmeric and ginger family, Zingiberaceae. Zingiberaceae, I should say. And yeah, so that one's doing well, needs to be repotted. Beautiful foliage and many uses, so I like that intersection of utility and beauty. These are American ginseng that have been potted up, actually, so we'll see if they can do this. This is another experiment to keep ginseng in Florida. We're going into winter, so maybe I can establish them. There's one now. They're just little dormant growth tips right now, so we'll see. We'll see. And lastly, here is that other group of Luke's mangosteens, the Mexican mangosteen. And these ones are the ones with the peachier leaf color. Now this one here almost looks like it might be trying to favor more of the hot red, but these two are definitely more of a peach kind of color, but just so nice. All right, well, I think that might be all we've got for you right now. We're running out of light, but thanks for watching. This is the Ylang Ylang Tree Nursery, and we'll keep you posted about new rare fruit finds. And next time we'll tell you about this exciting member of the frankincense family that has not only an edible fruit, but also an edible nut, as well as a perfume resin. It's used and valued in the industry. The plant is known as African Elemi. All right, see you next time.